Dr. Clara Guila Kessous, good morning. You are speaking at the International Symposium on Women's Leadership in Paris on 27 November at the invitation of Formark Europe and the World League of the Right to Happiness. Can you introduce yourself in a few words?
With pleasure. My name is Clara Kessous and I'm an expert in positive communication. I've been working with population who is suffering, such as victims of human rights violations or survivors, using theatrical skills. So basically I'm helping them to communicate better, expressing their suffering. I've been working also with the women's rights cause, working with Nobel Prize Malala Yousafzai, for example, for girls' education in Pakistan. I'm working also as a coach with a more corporate population, and it's a real pleasure to have been invited today at this symposium on women leadership.
What are the key messages of your speech?
The key messages of my speech today are three things that I really want to transmit to women. First of all, it's a change of spectrum, a change of approach with themselves, for themselves. So it's really how to better accept yourself, shushing the negative parrot that you have on your shoulder. So try to, each time you hear negative thoughts and negative things about you not being at the level, of feeling low, of feeling that you don't deserve what you have, try to diminish this sound in order to accept what is given to you and accept to take the opportunity. And the second is a change of spectrum, but it would be more about you regarding the collectivities, you regarding the group, accepting, for example, when you have to talk in public, that you're not only the victim, passive victim of the judgment of others, people who are not here to kill you, basically, but they are also here to see you seeing them. So when you have to talk in public, for example, you have to think that you are active and not passive, that you're watching others the way others are watching you. So it's a dual action, and if you reinforce the action, if you reinforce the fact of watching, you will see that the fear you might have to feel judged will disappear. And the third message I want to give to women today is a change of spectrum regarding the others. Thinking that the other is not your enemy. For this, you have to think about the etymology of conviction. Conviction is coming from Latin, which is cum vincere, and it's to win together. It's not about forcing the other to have your position. It's really about how can I create a frame in order to agree to disagree better. Those are the three key messages that I would like to give to women today.
What evolution do you see in the leadership over the next 10 years?
I see two tendencies of the evolution of leadership today. For women, I see the more and more acceptance of women in key positions, in high position, which is very positive for women leadership. And the second tendency is accepting to have no boss, those new startups and those new governance mode where the boss is not existing anymore, which really force us to rethink the job in itself, the way we function regarding work, and especially for women, now that it's time for us to get to key position, how do we reinvent ourselves when actually it's not about having a boss anymore, but more having a horizontal way to manage. So I think those two tendencies need to be thought and need to be taken into account in our leadership world.
What recommendation do you make to young leaders who are starting their careers or their activities?
Two main recommendations coming from me for young leaders. First of all, ladies, dare. And when I say dare is speak up. Speak up your thoughts, speak up your mind without being too aggressive, without being too passive, submissive, trying to find the assertiveness, this balanced way in order to be sure to be heard, not as an hysteric, because you dare to speak, but just with a tone that you maintain, a neutral, especially if there is too much emotion in it. And the second thing I would like, dare and say no. When you feel that it's going to a direction that you don't feel right, say no. And when you say no, try to be very clear when you express yourself about what do I say yes to when I say no, and what I say no to when I say yes. I strongly advise you to read a wonderful book that is called The Positive No by William Ury, who is the expert in negotiation at Harvard University. So those would be my two recommendations.